The Lenovo Y470 is an awesome 14-inch laptop that is priced competitively for its performance. It has great features such as a sleek design, switchable graphics using Nvidia's Optimus technology, and outstanding JBL speakers. Let's take a closer look. The Lenovo Y470 comes packaged with several connectivity options. There's a VGA, an HDMI port, a side grille with a fan inside that can really push out some air, one Ethernet port, two USB 3.0 ports, and audio and mic jacks. On the front side of the laptop we have a memory card reader, a silver switch that changes between integrated and dedicated graphics, and a wireless on-off switch. On the right side there's a USB 2.0 and eSATA combo port, an optical drive for burning and reading DVDs and CDs, and we have another USB 2.0 port. So that's two USB 3.0 ports and two USB 2.0 ports, a total of 4. Finally, on the back side, we have a 6-cell battery. The battery will last you approximately 3 to 4 hours when the dedicated GPU is enabled, since the Lenovo Y470 uses Nvidia's Optimus technology. Basically, when the user isn't playing a game or anything that is graphics intensive, the dedicated GPU becomes idle, and the Intel integrated GPU is used instead. On the flip side, when the user decides to play a game or use a 3D intensive application, the dedicated GPU becomes active, and the integrated GPU idles. So the battery life will of course vary depending on how many programs you're running and the system usage of each application. In addition, there is also a nice design etched onto the back with great looking and sturdy hinges. Additionally, the keyboard is very nice and typing on it is great. And what separates the Lenovo Y470 from the Y460 is that there is now no keyboard flexing. The keyboard is now a chiclet style keyboard. Also, the control key is now positioned to the left of the function key instead of on the right. Furthermore, the 470 is much more sturdy when compared to its predecessor. Overall, it's evident that the Y470 has many design improvements over the 460. The Y470 weighs around 5 pounds. It has a bright LED backlit 1366 by 768 resolution 14-inch display. It also has a built-in mic and a 1.3 megapixel webcam. However, this is a glossy display, so it's very reflective. And as with the Lenovo Y460, it shares the same issues with viewing angles. If you turn too much to the left, right, up, or down, you will notice a distortion in colors, which is typical of the majority of today's laptops. We still wish that this laptop had an option for a higher resolution display with better viewing angles. Additionally, this laptop has a great mouse pad with some nice touch-sensitive features. The touch-sensitive buttons can now do the following: control volume, change your display mode, and adjust your fan profile. The Lenovo Y470 is a portable powerhouse. Under the hood, we have a GT550M clocked at 740 MHz core and 1 GB of DDR3 900 MHz video memory. The GT550M has 96 CUDA cores, allowing it to take on any game you throw at it. It's also important to take note that those looking at the Lenovo Y570 may be disappointed to know that the GT555 it comes with is nothing more than an overclocked 550M with the same amount of CUDA cores. So there is only a minor performance difference in the Y470 and the Y570. Additionally, the laptop used in this review comes with a dual-core 2nd Gen Intel Core i5 2410M Sandy Bridge based processor. This laptop can also come packaged with a quad-core Core i7 2670QM. The clock speed of the 2410M can scale from 2.3 GHz up to 2.9 while gaming, and idle as low as 800 MHz to save battery life. The Lenovo Y470 comes with Windows 7 Home Premium 64-bit, 4 GB of DDR3 clocked at 1333 MHz, and a 500 GB 7200 RPM hard drive. Ultimately, the Y470 comes with a superior GPU and processor when compared to the 460. Now let's go back to gaming. You can play such notable games as Crysis 2, Battlefield 3, StarCraft 2, Modern Warfare 3, Skyrim, and much more. You name it, and you can most certainly play it. Let's take a look at some gameplay. First up is the game Crysis 2. The game runs great on very high settings with motion blur set to medium. We've averaged around 30 frames per second with a few dips, but overall the experience was rather smooth. When compared to the Y460, it's definitely a better performer, considering the Lenovo Y460 can only play Crysis 2 on high with only a few settings set to very high, without motion blur enabled. Next, we tested out StarCraft 2. The game runs great, with everything set to ultra except shaders on high and post-processing set to medium. This makes for a decent performance improvement over the Lenovo Y460. To jump into the field of battle, we tested out Battlefield 3. The game ran well at medium settings with textures on high, motion blur on, and ambient occlusion off. Another game we tested was Modern Warfare 3, and you guessed it, the Lenovo Y470 can max out Modern Warfare 3 with 4x anti-aliasing. Lastly, we have Skyrim. With a mixture of medium and high settings, we achieved around 30 to 40 frames per second. Overall, the game makes for an enjoyable experience on the 470 and plays smoothly. The Lenovo Y470's gaming performance is excellent for a 14-inch laptop. Temperatures on the GT550M GPU ranged from around 70 degrees Celsius to 75 degrees Celsius on load after about an hour of gaming. As with the Lenovo Y460, these temperatures are decent, given the laptop's size and the surrounding environment. However, those looking to overclock will have to carefully monitor both ambient and internal temperatures to make sure that they are within the GT550M's thermal limit. Speaking of temperature, let's talk about the Y470's hotspots. Every laptop has several, and the Y470 is no exception. Typically, with minimal tasks, this laptop is very cool to the touch and quiet. However, once we start gaming, things become louder and hotter. The mousepad area heats up a bit more, and a small patch on the left side gets warm, but not as hot as the 460 gets. However, the good news is that for gaming, our hands are where the keyboard is, and there aren't too many hotspots on the Y470, so this is only a minor annoyance. The fan does get noticeably louder, but as with any laptop, noise will increase when gaming fans start ramping up speed. So while gaming, the areas you'll actually use will become slightly warmer, and it should be a non-issue for most users. Ultimately, the Y470 stays relatively cooler than its predecessor. In sum, the Lenovo Y470 is a great buy and can be bought from anywhere between $700 to about $1,000 depending on where you buy it from and what hardware it comes packaged with. The battery life is decent while using Nvidia's Optimus technology, and when not gaming, the laptop stays relatively cool to the touch. The Lenovo Y470 is certainly a worthy successor to the Y460 and sports several desirable refinements. Ultimately, this laptop performs great for gaming, has a great keyboard, sturdy construction, and above-average JBL speakers. Despite minor issues with the display, the sleek and sexy-looking Lenovo Y470 is a great buy for the price. We highly recommend it. If you have further questions or for more reviews, check out pixelsmashers.com.